All right, let's dive right in. Let's create a Google Ads search campaign just as it should be, and how you probably won't find it anywhere else, because I'm going to show you quite some hidden tricks and tips that very few people only know about. Let's do this. Once you're in your ad account, you click on the blue plus button. If you don't see that yet, look for campaigns or campaigns here, or create campaign. All those ways lead you to Rome. And then we'll say new campaign. We'll always choose create a campaign without a goals guidance, even if you want leads or sales or whatever, because that option allows me the biggest variety of options to choose from with the least amount of preset options, right? Now, of course, Google is not going to tell you to do that, but this is really how our clients keep getting the most out of their budget. Then we'll go for search. If you have a conversion goal here already set up, that's fine. If not, that's also okay. We'll just go to continue. And in this case, we'll say website visits. Here, you're just going to put your domain for now. This is not yet the landing page that you will be advertising. Campaign name. Ideally, I'll keep it with like the campaign name. So the type of the campaign, so in this case, search. And then I put starting month and year, and then maybe, in this case, I will choose our optimization guide as an example and what it is about, and then we'll continue. We'll say start new. And then we can already see a whole bunch of options here. And what we'll choose here in the beginning is not conversions. I don't know, Google is going to tell you everything else. Like even the Google reps are going to tell you choose conversions. But we've seen over and over again that we get better results with clicks. I'm not going to set a maximum cost per click bid limit here right now. I won't need that in the beginning. I can keep this unticked and I'll say next. I'll remove the Google Display Network. And again, Google tells it's recommended and it's like, hey, your ads are going to be shown in more places and so on. But the issue is the Google Display Network works completely different to the search network. And so I want to make sure that if I want to create a Google Display campaign, I do that with the help of a different campaign type, right? So I want to separate these two campaign types, always. Then you'll choose a location, right? If you go to location options, you can choose presence in or regularly in your targeted locations. About 90% of our advertisers use that. I would only choose the first one if I deal a lot with people traveling to the location where I'm at. But in this case, we'll stick with presence. You can say enter another location, advanced search, and you'll get to radius, right? So this is in case you have a certain address. In this case, I'll go for, let's see if I find this here. There we go. So I can see 20 miles around our office, for example, right? Obviously, you can choose whatever fits for your business. Languages, I'm going to set up everything in English, but since this is a country where the native language is German, I definitely want to add that. Or, for example, if you set up a campaign for the US, you want to make sure that you choose English and Spanish, because Spanish is also a very prevalent language, even though you might set up your campaigns in English. And the reason for that is that this is actually not really the language that the customer speaks. It's a bit misleading here. It's the browser language, right? So a lot of people that speak perfect English in the US grew up there, but might have Spanish as their browser language because that's where their heritage is from, and so on. Obviously, if you work with different regions, you might want to add Mandarin, you might want to add Korean or Russian or whatever, right? If you choose Switzerland, for example, you can put German, English, French, and Italian, right? Now, audience segments, we're going to leave that out for now. We're going to work with keywords. This is already okay. I always click on more settings just to make sure I don't miss any important setting. Here with ad rotation, I typically set that to do not optimize, right? This is very important. The first couple of weeks, I just want the ads to run as evenly as possible. And then I'm going to start optimizing it, right? So about 2 weeks after you've started the campaign, go back into your settings and click on optimize, okay? Now, of course, I invite you to just stop this video at any point in time that you need to and do this step by step as you watch this, right? Start and end dates, you can set it to any date in the future if you still want to work on your campaign a little bit. For most search campaigns, we let them run without an end date because they're pretty much evergreens, right? Everything else looks good to me, and I'll say next. Now, keyword and asset generation. This has already pulled the description from our website, right? So I can say generate here in terms of the keywords and assets, or I can say skip. You can always click on generate. I'll show you the manual option for now. And in this case, I want to give the ad group a name. So this would be about the optimization guide. And it's already given me a couple of keywords here, right? So this is very, very convenient. I want to focus mostly on the Google Ads optimization guide that we have. So I want to be a bit more specific. If I just use paid ads as a keyword, it's very general. Like if somebody types it into Google, I don't know if they're looking for services from an agency or they're looking to learn it, or maybe they're looking for a job in that segment. So I want to make sure that most of the keywords that I choose have at least 3 to 4 words in them so that I have a higher likelihood of matching the intention of my potential customer. So here in this case, instead of paid ads, I could say paid ads guide for Google, right? Grow your business with Google Ads is okay. Business ads, that's too broad. Business Google Ads optimization, maybe. Google Your Business, we don't need that. That's too broad. That's too broad. That's word repetition. So I would go with probably Google Ads optimization. This is too broad. Digital advertising encompasses way too many fields. Google Ads for my business is okay. I want to aim for at least 10 to 15 keywords. Now, of course, in an age like this, you do not have to come up with them yourselves. There are some really cool tools out there, and I'm going to show them to you right now. One of them is Answer to Public, and I think you have like one search free every day or so. And I'm just switching the language here. And then I can say Google Ads optimization. And then I go to search. This is currently set in German. Let me see if I can switch it to English for you guys. There we go. Perfect. And then I can already get some data here about like certain search queries. What is a good Google Ads optimization score? So I could use that. I can go back here and say Google Ads optimization score. Then I'll go back here and it says, what is Google Ads optimization? This isn't too bad either. What is Google Ads optimization? Then let's see what else we have. Oh, it's asking me to create a free account. You can also do that. The tool is very useful. So yeah, and by the way, we're not affiliated with them in any way, shape, or form. It's just a great tool. Google Ads bidding optimization, that would be another good one. And let's see what else we got. Google Ads optimization checklist is a good one. Let's see. Google Ads optimization checklist PDF. That's good. Let me go here. And then I could also say there was another one that I've seen, which was this one here. And so you can just add 10 to 15 keywords from this tab. Now, of course, there are a couple of other great tools out there, such as trends.google.com. So this can also serve you for researching keywords, and you can choose the country, you can choose the time frame, categories, web search, YouTube, Google Shopping, and so on. So plenty of opportunities here to research your keywords without having to think much. And of course, you can always use like AI tools, right? And I'm gonna get to that in a second. So let's go back to our Google Ads campaign. So we got a bunch of keywords here, and we'll get to the ad right now. So here for the final URL, I want to use the landing page of where I'd want people to take action. So in this case, I am going to choose this one here, which features our Google Ads optimization guide. I can adjust the display path, which looks better in the preview of the ad. So I can say Google Ads, and then I could say optimization, for example. And then you can see how it adjusts here and looks a bit better than this Google Ads optimization guide is, right? Now, with the headlines, it already pre-filled some, but I'm not really too sure I like those because there's also like some misspellings and so on. And it pulled some wrong information. So what I can do is I can go to Claude, and I've already prepared this here for you, where you can take your company's description, right? Wherever you have it. In this case, this is the description you can find on LinkedIn. And I have written this prompt here, right? And again, feel free to copy paste that. But I'm asking Claude to pretty much create these headlines and the descriptions for me. I tell it exactly how long they should be, including spaces, right? And I'm saying, please make the call to action about the optimization guide. And I'll say enter. Let's see what it gives me. All right, it looks like it understood the assignment. There we go. These are looking pretty good. So I can simply copy paste those in my ad. And I'll keep adding them here. Now, it already formatted them in a really, really good way. So I pretty much don't have to do a lot more here. Now, the one thing it says here throughout, like a guaranteed, I'm not too happy with the guaranteed wording because in general, I don't like giving guarantees because there are too many moving factors. Say we put this here, then we have a lot of good ones here, right? And as I'm doing this, feel free to go into Claude and maybe go a little bit back in the video, copy paste the prompt that I gave you before and add your own here. All right, I'm literally just going back and forth between Claude and Google Ads. I just want you to see what I put in Google Ads here. Oh, this is a good one. Former Google Pro fixes ads. Former Googler, actually. Former Google employee. Let's see if this fits. No, it probably doesn't fit. Damn it. Former Googler. Let's put this. I don't know if it's going to let us go through with that because Google is obviously a brand term. But we'll just give it a try. So, one more. Perfect. Oh, it still lets us add. Maybe it didn't create 15. No, it created 15. Okay, well, that's fine. Now, I'm going to go to descriptions, and it already added some of them. I do not like those. So Google employee would be more correct because I'm still an expert. It's not like I'm an ex-expert. Get the optimization guide for just $7 because it's not a free one. I don't know where it thinks that this guide is free, but it's fine. Okay. We got the 3,000 companies here. So always add a social proof, right? And numbers, because that helps people grasp ads much better, much quicker, and understand, hey, is this valuable to me, right? I'll go here. And then one last one. Climber optimization guide for today. Let's do that because I already got the price in there. I don't like this too much, but I'm not going to care too much about it because I just want to continue with this video. But this has changed. So global Google partner for, let's say, high growth businesses. Well, okay. So the rest looks good. Site links, I can add those later. Callouts, I add those later, and I'll see if we can link the ad extensions or asset video. I never create them in here in the ad interface because I've seen that it comes to bugs when publishing the campaign. So I just want you to continue smoothly and not get too stuck, and do that later. I can click on done. Here is my ad, and I can click on next. And look at the average cost per click. I want to show you this. Oh, it's asking me to confirm. Okay, let's see. Okay. So on the right-hand side, let's see if I can show you this. It shows the average cost per click of $2.92. It shows that here too, and it shows a weekly cost, right? Now, I'm going to set a custom budget, and I'm going to say, let's say $31 for now. And we can see that the average cost per click goes down. So the less money you spend, the less you actually pay for your ads in terms of a cost per click, which is really good. So of course I don't want to spend a lot more, right? If you're asking what's a good budget at this point, ideally something above 30 or something around 30 to $50 a day would be good, because that way the system can get sufficient data, right? Starting off higher, anything than that, if you're an absolute beginner, I would not recommend it. If you already have some experience with Google Ads and your account already has some data and your account is kind of used to that, then it's okay. But more doesn't always mean it's better, right? So we do have some clients that actually reach the ceiling with Google Ads, and then we'd help them create other like accounts on other ad platforms and unlock those for their business growth, right? So there's definitely in depending on your company size and industry and target customer, there may be a ceiling, right? So while this is checking for errors, and it should be done in a few minutes, you can see on the right-hand side the campaign optimization score. There we go. And for some reason, it keeps trumping between 86 and 90%. Do not ask me why. That's the Google universe that we don't always understand. But you got to make sure every week at least once that you adjust it so that it's 100%. And you often don't need to accept most of the recommendations. You can just dismiss them, and then your score also goes up, right? But that optimization score tells Google how well your campaign is optimized. And obviously, the closer to 100% it is, the better Google perceives the campaign to be. Now, interestingly enough here, it set as a goal submit lead forms. If you remember, I didn't choose a goal, right? So you got to be careful when you set up your campaign, because Google may not always keep your entries as you set them up, right? So Just going to publish the campaign for now so that you see how that looks like. That's going to ask me about the setup with a Google tag. What you can do if you don't want to do that right now. Let's see if it lets me skip this step. Yeah. So if you click here on this X, it should take you to your campaign. There we go. There we have our campaign, right? And then as said, as in the, like before, you can set up your assets here. If you go to assets and then assets again, and you can set up all of these different ones that fit for your specific purpose and business. We put the link to the video in the description below so that you know where to find it. And yeah, let us know if you got stuck somewhere in the process. Comment below if this video was helpful to you. Subscribe if you, of course, want to learn more. And we're looking forward to helping you. And of course, if you want to get the optimization guide, we're also going to put the link below. And otherwise, have a fabulous day, evening, morning ahead, wherever and whenever you're watching this.